Listen up, everybody. This is very important. Today's dessert is not for kids. That's because we're using rum for our Baba or Rum Punch. It's equal parts brioche that looks like a cake. It is a pastry, maybe it's cake, I don't know. But it's infused with delicious Caribbean rum with French influences, and it's topped with tropical fruity flavor. This dessert is gonna satisfy your sweet tooth while getting you a little buzz. I'm not gonna lie, we don't need a little drink, you know? So now we're going to make the very most important step of this whole dish, which is the brioche. We're going to take our yeast, our sugar, and our warmed milk. Give it a little stir. If you see that your center is light and pale and it has action going on, that means that your yeast is awake and ready to rumble. We're gonna add our flour and then our salt. And now we're gonna start. Speed 1. We're gonna mix this for 1 minute until the flour is mostly incorporated. So this is what you wanna see. There's still a lot of flour on the side of the bowl. This dough is a lot drier than a typical brioche. The ratios are a little off, but that's Baba. So now we're gonna add our eggs one at a time, mixing in between each egg. I'm gonna keep letting this mix until I don't see any more yellow. It's almost ready, but I wanted to show you how it looks before I incorporate the butter. This hydration is perfect. It's going to accept the butter perfectly and create such a beautiful texture for our brioche. What do you think? Do you want to touch it? I agree. Let's keep going. So we're gonna start our mixer and we're gonna add the butter one by one until it's fully incorporated. We're gonna kick up the speed until it fully comes together, and that dough is gonna be super shiny and super awesome. I would like to also note that I'm using very soft butter. Hard butter won't incorporate as evenly. The only way to know if it's done is by touching it. So I'm gonna touch this. You can see that it's ready because when I press it, there's nothing that actually comes and transfers onto my finger. And now we wait for an hour. But while this rises, we're going to make our rum soak. With any rum punch, you need to focus on the rum. And what we're doing today is we're highlighting the molasses notes and we're bringing up that warmth with the spices. You're gonna take your brown sugar, some salt, your cinnamon sticks, and your water to hydrate it. We're gonna give this a little stir, and now we're gonna give it a boil. You don't want to put your rum in right now because when you cook rum, you lose a lot of that alcohol flavor. As we're warming this up, we're waiting for our sugars to dissolve and for the cinnamon to really become aromatic. So now that it's come to a full boil, I'm gonna go to the bottom of the pot to make sure that I don't have any sugar crystals. As you can see, it's pretty clean. So now we're gonna take this off the heat and we're gonna add our citrus. I'm using lime, but just the juice. And now we're gonna add our delicious rum. I wish you guys could smell how delicious it smells in here. So this has to infuse for 30 minutes and our dough is still rising. So it's the perfect time to make the coulis. So I'm going to use my immersion blender to make this process smoother, literally. Now we have our perfectly made baby food ready to be turned into coulis. Now we're gonna put our puree into our pot, add our sugar, our lemon, and our lime. We're gonna give this a nice mix. We're gonna turn on the heat to medium. I'm gonna keep stirring this mixture to make sure that the fruit and the sugar do not stick to the bottom and burn, but I really want to get my sugar to dissolve and really extract all of the moisture from my fruit. I'm going to run this through a strainer to catch all of that fruit pulp, and then we're gonna be left with our beautiful coulis. So now that your arm has almost fallen off and you have strained all of your puree, it's time to add the rum. Give it a mix. It smells like rum punch, oh my gosh. Now we're gonna let this cool to the side. And now let's check on our dough. Yes, you can see that it has doubled in size. Oh my goodness, look at this. And then now we can do this. We're gonna punch our dough. Sorry, smiley face. We're gonna take it out. And when your dough has been perfectly laminated, it's not sticky at all, push it down and make a little wreath with our dough. We're gonna make sure that we spread it evenly. So now we wait for 20 to 30 more minutes because it has to rise again. Remember, the rise is so worth it. Cover this bad boy up and let's go. So it's been 20 to 30 minutes and my dough has risen. Let's see what it looks like. It's beautiful, it's risen and doubled in size. We're gonna preheat our oven to 375 degrees and we're gonna bake it until it's golden brown and delicious. So I can't wait to bake this and I can't wait to have a slice. Now is the perfect time to make your citrus glaze. So pour it on top and seal in all that moisture. We're gonna first take our sugar. Now, really important, we're gonna take our pectin and mix it with our sugar before adding any liquid. Add our hydration. Feel free to add your citrus right now too. Whisk in the water and lemon juice until smooth. Bring to a simmer over medium-high heat and make sure that your mixture starts to melt until it turns into a paste-like structure. Look at that, doesn't that look amazing? I'm gonna clear these bowls and I'm gonna bring out our Rum Baba. So now that my Rum Baba has fully baked, it has sat for 10 minutes. I'm gonna flip this over, be careful, it's super hot, and we're going to poke holes in it and then return it back into this bundt pan. Voila! And now we're going to unmold our delicious brioche. Beautiful. I have these metal tongs that are kind of pointy, so we're gonna poke and make sure that we're getting on the sides of it. This is really gonna help that rum soak go all the way through, get the inner layer as well. And now we're gonna put it back into our bundt pan. You're gonna grab this gently, and it shouldn't be too hot to the touch. You're gonna grab your pan, and now we're gonna poke the top, because that's how that rum soak is really gonna get through to your cake. And now we're gonna drizzle this onto our cake. It's gonna feel like there's so much liquid, but really, this is like a sponge and it's gonna soak it all up. So as you can see, it's fully incorporated. Now, we're going to flip this again. We're going to finish by pouring our rum soak gently on top, just so that that bottom and top layer are fully soaked with this delicious mixture. Now we're going to take our beautiful citrus glaze and we're gonna coat our baba to really trap in that delicious rum soak. We're gonna use a pastry brush for this process. No, Misu, it's not ready yet. I still have to glaze the rest of it. Get out of here. And now with the final touch, I think that's enough. Put a lot of glaze on there, but really, that lemon flavor is gonna pop in your mouth. It's just gonna be like a party in your mouth. It's Baba o Rum Punch time! Cut a slice of this Baba. You can see the rum is just oozing out of this delicious Rum Baba. We're gonna take our scoop of ice cream and then we're gonna pour that coulis right on top. No, you tried to eat it earlier and that's no. Anyways, so now it's time to taste, and I am going to enjoy this by myself because Misu has been a bad kitty. So, so good. Get a lot of that coulis in there. There is so much tropical flavor. That fruit punch flavor resonates through the rum, really makes it. Please make this at home, enjoy it any time of the year, and learn how to appreciate rum from the Caribbean. Fine, Misu, you can have a taste.